Hello guys, in this session we are going to discuss this topic, theories of social stratification. So we will be covering the functional theories in this session, but before we get into the functional theories or the structural functional theories, I'll briefly mention that evolution. Okay, so how these theories have came into existence and what are the theories or the understanding which are related to stratification. I briefly mention about that, and then we discuss about Talcott Parsons and Davis and Moore, and then W.L. Warner after that. Okay, so Marx theory we will be discussing when we discuss Marx, okay, in the thinkers chapter. Weberian theory also, class, status, power, we will be discussing separately when we discuss Weber. So here we will be focusing on the structural functional theories in this session. But before getting into that, I'll give you an introduction which you can write in the first first paragraph in maybe 20-30 words. Okay, so let's get started. So here if you see initial understanding of social stratification, so the ancient philosophical perspective, it's basically inequalities are natural, inequalities are permanent, and people are born unequal. So Aristotle, Plato, they are of the opinion that these are natural differences and people are born unequal, okay, and these are permanent. So for example, Plato believed in natural inequalities, and he argued that people are born unequal, and he envisioned a society with three classes: guardians, auxiliaries, and workers. So he believed that inequalities are natural, permanent, and inevitable, or I would say initial understanding was like that. And then comes some kind of social explanation. Okay, so next stage, or in this itself, Aristotle, if you look into, see, both are actually talking about the same. Inequalities are natural, I will be putting inverted comma here, permanent, and inevitable. It is inevitable in any society, and it is natural, that is, men are born unequal. By birth you are unequal and permanent. So that's the initial understanding. Aristotle viewed inequalities as natural, proposing a natural rank order among the people. Okay, now comes Renaissance period. There is a shift, that Saint Thomas and Saint Augustine. So they attempted to understand the societal hierarchies in terms of power, property, and prestige. So some kind of social explanation have started during this time. So they try to understand in terms of the power, property, prestige, and this period marked the emergence of social explanation of stratification. Now later you will see Locke, Bentham, Rousseau, Hegel, etc. They recognize the emergence of social classes based on both inherent and acquired qualities or differences. So inherent difference means something which is natural. So you might be born with extra talent, right? Inherent inequality. Or it could be acquired. That means over a period of time, you get education, you will automatically go to the top, right? You make wealth, you go to the top. So the differences could be either natural or social, or inequality here. Okay, so either you are born unequal, or it could be inherent, or it could be acquired, or it could be combination of both. You born with that inequality, and then you made it more also, like you born for a rich father, and then you automatically made gain wealth, and it means inherent and acquired. So it could be either inherent or acquired, or it could be the combination of both. So these are initial understanding. And then comes Marxian perspective. We will discuss again this later. So Rousseau understood social inequality as a system of private property. Marx considered this as a dimension of division of labor. And in conflict theory, we will be explaining this in detail in different societies, how he identified inequalities in slave society or ancient society, in feudal society, in capitalist society, and what was his dream, that communist society where everybody is equal, or without any strata or hierarchy or any inequality, everybody will be equal. That's the dream. That is communist society. In capitalist society, there are workers, there are upper class, lower class in all societies. For example, in capitalist society, upper class, lower class, or the bourgeois, the capitalist and the workers. Ancient society, masters and slaves. Feudal society, lords and serfs. So he also talked about inequality in terms of division of labor. When it comes to Weber, he talked about three dimensions: class, status, power. So it's like this. Okay, so he will be giving, guys, we will discuss this in detail later. So class, status, that's the prestige, privilege, etc. Power, this is the political dimension, and those who stand here, they are the most powerful and at the top, according to Weber. We will be discussing this. And now the structural functional approach during 1940s, and mainly we need to look into Talcott Parsons, Davis and Moore, and W.L. Warner. Out of this, Talcott Parsons gave a very simple theory, very easily understandable. Warner also. We will discuss and focus more on Davis and Moore theory. But if they ask you a question on structural functional theory, you need to briefly mention about the evolution. You need to talk about Parsons in the next paragraph. You need to talk about Davis and Moore in length. And then towards the end, you need to mention Warner, and that's how your answer should be. Even if they're asking only about Davis and Moore, still you will be mentioning about this. You will also be mentioning about the criticism, right? Criticism means normally you will be writing Marxian theory. So whenever you talk about functional theories, you will write the Marxian theory towards the end as a criticism. Okay. So the core idea here is they understand inequalities as fulfilling some vital functions in the proper organization of society. This is a key word here, and that need to be cut, copy, paste in your answer. So social inequalities or stratification is there because it will be there in every society, because it is required for the survival of the society or the system, as it is fulfilling some vital core functions of the society. Okay, so it is fulfilling certain functions, and that's why it's existing, and that helps in the proper organization or functioning of society. So that's this perspective is all about. Okay, so now let's get into Parsons. Right, okay, so according to Parsons, what he is saying is, very simple, this is very simple, every society is based on consensus. So society work on the basis of certain consensus, and these consensus are in terms of certain norms and values. You know what are norms and values, and everyone is expected to fulfill and follow these norms and values, and everyone tend to evaluate themselves on the basis of their conformity to these norms and values. So I evaluate myself whether I am conforming to these norms and values, and if you are conforming to these norms and values, you will be rewarded. So whenever you are rewarded, you will automatically come to the top. So that means stratification is basically a system which fulfills one criteria, right? What it is actually giving reward to those who are fulfilling the norms and values of the society in simple terms. Okay, so let's see this. So Parsons argued that every society is based on consensus in terms of norms and values, and there will be reward system. Those conform to the norms and values will be rewarded, leading to stratification. So stratification help in fulfilling certain functional prerequisite of society. So when you are fulfilling that, you are getting reward, and it's an inevitable reality. So inequality is inevitable. Okay. Now this is a most important one, Davis and Moore theory. So here there are differential distribution of rewards. That's what actually he is explaining, and the functional importance. See, I'll break down this one. Every society is based on certain positions. So any society you take, there are positions in society, and these positions means they fulfill certain functions for society. Perfect. Any society you take, there are functions and there are positions to fulfill that. Okay, so that's what distribution of rewards in society is reflection. Okay, so positions, and out of which some are functionally more important. Yes or no? There are functions, an n number of functions, some of which are doctor, IAS officer. So these are, is it similar to the other profession? Then you might not be sitting here at this point of time. Correct? So some are functionally more important than others. Okay, now how can you get this more important position, or why you need some more important position? That is the most important task. Can I give that most important task to anyone? No. So what I need to do, the most important position need to be filled with the most talented people. So what we need, the better talent is required to fulfill this position. Now how to attract the talented people? If I am giving equal salary and privileges to everyone, will you be getting this? Because you need to undergo a lot of sacrifices and training and practices to achieve and get that talent. So what you need to give more reward. Now you understood why you are here, right? You are expecting certain rewards. Okay, that's why you are taking all these sacrifices. So to attract the talent, you will be giving certain reward. That means those who are undergoing the training and sacrifices and the practice, they achieve the talent and they will be rewarded because they are coming to these position. So when I say reward, what does that indicate? The differential distribution of rewards is a reflection of stratification. Now, is it automatically creating stratification? So what is stratification if that is the case? Stratification is a mechanism that ensures that the most important positions are filled with the most talented people by giving appropriate rewards to them. Simple. That's it. Okay, so society is made up of position. Some are functionally more important than others. Functionally more important positions need to be filled with the most talented people. To attract the talent, you need to give rewards. Of course, they need to undergo training, sacrifices. So that is what motivate them, to motivate them. Why you are here? Why you are motivated to sit and listen to this? Because of the rewards that you are going to get, the privileges that you are going to get. Okay, so that's how system is created. So reward system is created, skill and training, because most important position need talent. Talent, you cannot simply get that. For that, a lot of training, practices, etc. is there. Now there are mechanism of distribution. So basically social stratification is seen as a mechanism for distributing rewards to fulfill the important positions with talented individual, so that the society's functioning is managed and maintained. Okay. So, and it is universally present across society. This is the same system. Inequality is there in every society. Every society have certain positions. Every society have certain important positions. And every society you will see better rewards are attached to that important position. So that's why, stratification is there. And it is functional. Why it is functional? Because important jobs are getting done because of that with the talented people. And that is benefiting the entire society. Okay. So functional importance, positions are evaluated based on their functional uniqueness and dependence on other position. Means there are certain positions which are more unique. Doctor, you won't see many number of people. IAS officer, these are unique, right? So you need more rewards for that. Then there are some positions to which other positions are more dependent on. That also requires better talents. Okay. Now, whenever you write this theory, if they are asking this theory have three parts. So Davis and Moore give propositions. This comes in three parts. So these propositions is what we discussed now. And then what will happen is Melvin Tumin will give certain objection to those propositions. Melvin Tumin. And then what Davis and Moore will do is they will be giving you clarification to those objections. So with this three part only the theory is over. Yet your answer is not over. I said theory is over. In the answer, you need to bring in criticism by using Marx conflict approach. So that's when your answer is over. Theory is over here. But even if they're asking theory, you will be talking about the proposition just before we discussed. Now we are going to discuss the objections. After that, clarification. And with that, theory is over, but your answer is over with the criticism also. Okay, so basically Melvin Tumin's objections. What he said is how to judge the importance of a position, relative importance of a position. IAS doctor or teacher, which one is more important? Without a teacher, doctor won't be there. Without a doctor, entire society or the teacher also may not be there. So there is a difficulty in understanding the relative importance of position. This is a critique and there will be clarification. If you want, I can give you the clarification that already I have mentioned. You can, it is difficult, but it's not impossible. You can understand the importance of a position by using two criteria. Just before I have mentioned that. This one, functional importance. By the degree to which the one in question is unique. So doctor is more unique than teachers. Anyone can be a teacher, right? But not everyone can be a doctor. And the one in question, the other position, how much dependent on the one in question. So based on these two criteria, you can consider or understand the relative importance. And measurement issues. How to judge the talent? Is the exams that you are following, is it the right way to measure the talent? That's a subjective question again. So there's another criticism. There can be alternative motivational schemes instead of rewards. That's another question. And what he is saying is, this is not integrating, rather it is generating hostility and tension among the people. So these are actually the objections, and then clarification I have already mentioned. So here itself I think I have mentioned it. So he's saying, Davis and Moore saying alternate motivational scheme won't work because if society is left out to do anything what they want to do, then there will be total chaos. It won't work out. So proper rewards are necessary because these people have to undergo a lot of training and sacrifices to acquire talent, and talent is a must for fulfilling the important position. So this is how this is clarified. Measurement issues, that a different question, that is completely subjective. Every society have its own measurement and the scale to get the people who want to be filled with a in a particular position, right? For IAS, you have the exam, right? For doctor they have the exam. So there are different mechanisms for that, and it integrate people. Okay, so in most important positions with the most talented people, society's functioning is proper then. So instead of hostility, there may be situations where there can be hostility, but overall this is actually functional for the society. Okay. Now limitations, if you see limited scope, it's more suitable for class stratification. You cannot explain gender stratification in terms of functional importance of a position, right? You cannot understand the other stratification system, only applicable in case of class stratification, and applies more on open stratification system because you need equal opportunity. That is again an issue. So it is basically because everyone who's acquiring the talent should come to the post and they must be rewarded. So for that it need to be an open system. For example, if you take caste system, a Dalit won't get that kind of opportunity. So he's talking because anyway it's class system. So it is obviously an open stratification system. So this is applicable for open system. And here another issue is based on unrealistic assumption of equal opportunity. So you are talking about you acquire the talent and you will be rewarded. But is that the case with everyone? No, right? It is not possible that everyone can get that kind of access to the rewards or way to get the talent and everything. So there are obvious limitations. And this is what we have discussed already when we discussed about the open stratification system. Practically, there are difficulties. Theoretically, open system means anyone can come to the top, but practically there are a lot of hindrances, parental background and your other aspect will be coming into picture. Now Warner theory is very simple. So what he is saying is society is basically compartmentalized. Okay, so different compartments like this and different sections of people will stay separately, like here let's say lower class people will be staying like this and then upper class people will be staying like this, and this ensures cultural stability. Here. So he argued that social stratas will ensure cultural stability by compartmentalizing people based on different cultures. So these have different culture to this. So when you are staying like this, that ensure the cultural stability. Okay. Now Marxian Weberian, they later 1950s and 60s onwards, the synthesis, the combinations have started. So new dimensions have added, the contradictory class locations and everything. So key contributors include Eric Olin Wright, and this anyway we will be discussing later. Postmodern understanding, the stratas are diffusing. Now there are not much discussion about the strata. Individual inequalities like more. So inequalities diffusing now. Strata based inequality, if you talk about upper class itself, there are so much of inequalities within that. So there is no point in such kind of classification these days. So much heterogeneity is there and people are getting completely different. Even, the kind of stratas are very difficult and stratas are diffusing. So individual focus inequalities are seen as confined to individual or group level rather than a broad societal strata, which is difficult also. So which itself actually proposing that end of stratification theory. Okay, so that's about this session. The details and everything, the actual lecture, you will be getting the complete details of the discussion that we have done. This is actually the revision of the topic, and I'll give you the link in the description for the complete course. And if you want the PDF, you can download free of cost. That also I'll give you the link in the description. And for IAS course or any course, you can get the courses. Okay, so that's it guys, thank you so much, see you in the next video.